And welcome back. So, off camera, you have missed us win every single game off camera, actually, including the cup final, cup semi-final. The cup final is now, we're going to play the cup final together against PSG. We're also going to play the last 2 games of the season, or at least maybe the last penultimate game, because if we win either of our last 2 games, we win the league again against PSG. Is their manager under pressure yet? No, he still isn't. Okay. Are they in the Champions League still or something? No, they're not. They're knocked out of that as well. Oh, dear. So, I don't know. Just another disappointing season for Paris Saint-Germain. Hopefully they don't go and buy somebody for loads of money. They already have, actually. They've already spent 100 plus million in January. I didn't realise that. They got Jan Thielman, who's 29 years old. It's quite a lot of money to waste. Livio's a good player. I can't believe we didn't get him. I'm still gutted about that. Absolute Judas over here, Livio. But we'll move on. We won't dwell on that any longer. This is the first match. We're going to see the first team back completely together, by the way. So it's going to be the first team out there together for the first time since those last 2 long-term injuries. So let's see how those boys get on against PSG in the cup final. Come on, Paris FC. Let's beat them again. Let's win our 3rd French Cup in a row and beat PSG in the final again. It would be lovely. Assistant manager says, matches like these matter most of our fans. Yeah, okay, good. So here we go. In the pink kit against PSG. Love that. Fabulous with the free kick towards the far post. Camera Kitchen goes up, heads it just wide. Yeah, so we beat PSG at home 1-0 earlier in the season. We lost 4-0 away in the league. Now, this is a neutral venue, so let's see what happens. You think maybe it's going to be in the middle, it's going to be like, I don't know, 2-1 to PSG. That's probably what you would think if it goes off those 2 results. Of course, there's no guarantee it's going to. In terms of my early thoughts, I think Yuxel's going to be gone if I can sell him, because I just think that when they're left-footed on that left-hand side, it shouldn't matter that much, but in the game, I just think it does. I've always felt like it does. He takes those first touches out instead of in, and all the type of attacks we normally get when there's right-footed there just are completely gone. Like, I don't mind it for left-footed left-backs, anything like that. It's just left-footed wingers on the left in this tactic. I'm not quite sure is the way for us to go. So either he becomes a striker next season, or we sell him. My one concern is Fabio Luis, actually, because Fabio Luis won't sign a new contract, and he's only got 2 years left. So if we're going to sell Fabio Luis for like £300 million, or something like that, it's going to be this season. Does that set us back multiple years for the Champions League? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens if he's... Oh, no, it's a red. Wow, straight red mechanic. I was about to say, we'll see what happens after he wins the French Cup and the French League, if that makes him change his mind. But the French Cup's probably going to be gone now, thanks to that disgraceful tackle. Baba gets it. De Emery plays the ball straight into PSG. They're going to get a sack. They're going to break through. By the way, Hakimi got an injury recently for them, I noticed. It came up in the aftermath of one of their games. Is he still out? He is, isn't he? How long is he out for? Oh, no, he's back already. But, I mean, he's surely got to be losing some of his old pace and acceleration at this point. PSG get the throw. They're going to play it across the back line. They're going to build their attack through the middle. Plays into Mbappe, plays it behind to Livio, goes through 1v1, he shoots and he scores for PSG. Corner, far post, headed away. Alisson's going to try and get out to this. He's not going to quite get there. PSG going to build their attack. It's going to be a long, long day at the office, I think, now for the rest of this game. Basically, we need the red card for them to even this up. That's what we need to happen. Otherwise, I think we're in a bit of trouble here. Ventura to Yuxel into Fabio Luis, gets time and space, places the Bagchi, goes to 1v1. Is he going to score? He should have done. That's got to be a foul. If that's not a penalty, that should be a red card as well, referee. It's disgraceful. It was a clear goal score opportunity. It was violent conduct. It was everything. I think he elbowed him as well, ref. That's a pen now. Just give him a red. It's everything. Oh, doesn't send him off. But at least get a penalty. Is Bagchi going to score it? The answer to that is no, he doesn't. We're up against it. Get it together, lads. That's what we're going to say to the boys. Yeah, Bagchi, get off the pitch as well. Another coach goes up front. According to the match stats, we've done okay for 10 men, but that does include the penalty, our XG, of course. But we're going to get a highlight here anyway. Samani into Alisson. Goes on the outside. Whips the ball into Luis. Plays it in behind Mark Van Basten. Not got Mark Van Basten, but he misses anyway. Free kick with Van Basten. Crosses it towards far post. Rikichi goes up, heads towards goal, and it's going to be 1-1. There we go. Back into the game. They've gone to a 3-5-2 against us. They're that scared. They've gone to a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 against 10-man Paris FC. Okay, game goes to extra time, which is not looking good for us for 2 reasons. 1, they've got an extra player to play through this whole period with. And 2, if it goes to penalties, we've already lost. Rayon for Alisson, that's our last change, I think, isn't it? Yep. Somebody throws it into Zé Emery, plays it back to Samani, gets sacked. Referee, a red card. Send Mbappe off. Give him like a 10-year ban for it. Zé Emery into Ray. Plays it back now to Fabio Luis. Switches the ball to a PSG player, incidentally. And that is going to be their highlight, you would have thought, at this point now. We get early pressure on them, which is pretty good, but it's not going to be enough this time. They go through. Mbappe's through. Is he onside? He hits the bar, and it goes straight back to the goalkeeper's arms. Instant highlight after the kickoff and after extra time, half-time and extra time. PSG to play through the middle. We're going to get to this easily, though, Babbo. Into Ventura. Takes some touches, gives it to Van Basten. Plays in behind. Novakovic is onside. He's gone through. He's through on goal. Is he going to score it? Oh, and he has it. It's 2-1. Come on, boys. Let's not get too excited. It's PSG. But it's 2-1. Yeah, fair play to Novakovic. He just shoves off the defender, says, get off me. He goes through. And what a 1v1 finish this is. I mean, that should be a red card for the intent, to be honest, ref. And that's 2-1. PSG go through the Mbappe. Samani wins the ball off him. Mina to Babbo. We could easily play around them here. They've only got the two strikers. Now play through the middle. Oh, you had the opportunity to play it through the middle there. Ventura, there's a progressive pass on there if you wanted to use it. So my conclusion, by the way, was that maybe Rikichi, because I play Rikichi because he's been a good player for a few years, but he's club homegrown. But is Rikichi really like a top-class, world-class centre-back? Probably not. So I think I need to invest at centre-back this year. I also got a news block. Oh, here we go. Novakovic is in. It's 3! Paris FC are going to do it. The 10-man Paris FC from the 36th minute are going to beat PSG 3-1. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, my final thought was, so Helgeson, I had the inbox item for him, and it just said basically that off-the-field events mean that he's nowhere near as determined as a player as he once was. So, my thought process straight away was, let's sell Helgeson. Let's bring in a very expensive top world-class centre-back in all the stats that we need, and let's move Rikichi to a backup role. I mean, I'm not even sure Babbo is a great centre-back either. I think Olkan, Rikichi and Babbo, both of them, I think both Rikichi and Babbo could both be Champions League winning centre-backs with another world-class centre-back. Maybe together they're just not quite good enough. And Helgeson needs to be really like a number 4 centre-back. But I'm probably going to need the money, so he's probably going to have to go, and we'll have to use somebody else as our 4 centre-back. They're not coming back, don't worry. That's offside. Unlucky PSG. Cancel that goal, please. Oh, no, it's given. 3-2. They're not coming back, it's fine. Game's over. Give us the trophy, please. Here we go. Ventura, far post to Ray, headed away. Just take the red if you need to. Novakovic, I mean, just get out. Get off our pitch. Paris is our city. It is a Paris FC city, not a PSG city. Get out, PSG. Enjoy it. Enjoy your second place finish yet again. Enjoy your runners-up medal yet again. Enjoy your no Champions League final yet again. 4-2 Paris FC. Take it. Enjoy it. I'm going to. The viewers are going to. And most importantly, the Paris FC fans are going to enjoy it as well. Go on, have another goal. Just have it. Have your false hope. Have that. Who cares? Get out. There we are. Finishes 4-3 to Paris FC. The 10-man Paris FC. We gave them an extra player and they still couldn't beat us. That's how bad that was. And the pink kit. Round of applause for the pink kit. And the boys are going to lift the trophy in the pink kit yet again. That is a hat-trick. That is 3 French Cups in a row. It's going to be 2 league titles in a row unless we have a colossal collapse, which could happen, but it's unlikely. As we lift it. Go on then, boys. Let's lift the trophy. Well done, boys. Congratulations. Paris FC, French Cup champions, yet again. There it is. Absolutely love it. The pink and white confetti rains down in Paris yet again. The refs love it. Everybody loves it. We'll say congratulations. The board are delighted with me, okay? The board are delighted with me. Yeah, thank you very much, boards. Thank you for the praise and you're welcome is the message of the day. Oh, no, sorry. It's not a hat trick. It's 3 in 4 years is what it is. So there you are. I forgot. Yeah, it wasn't quite a hat-trick. It's close, though. Close to having a hat-trick. PSG haven't won it in 4 years. So, okay, I'll see you in a week's time for the game against Lille. And I think all we need is a draw. Yeah, all we need is a draw within the title in the next game. So come on, Paris FC. Let's win another title. Let's set ourselves up for next season. By the way, we did get our budget. It's going to be 26,182 grand a week in wages, which could be a massive budget yet again if I was to sell somebody. I think Fabio Luis is going to have to go if he doesn't sign a new contract. So be prepared for that. That's what I would say. But okay, I've seen you in a week's time for the game against Lille. Here we go then. Mokani is suspended out. He comes, in goes Salmani. In fact, let's get the whole band back together here. Let's do that. Salmani goes in there. There we go. Okay, let's see how we get on against Lille. Can we win the trophy here today? Can we win the league title? If we win our last 2 games, we're actually going to beat our points total last season by 3 points. I mean, if we win one of the last 2 games only and we lose the other, then it's going to be dead even. If we win one draw, we're going to beat it by 1 point. PSG had a much worse season this season, incidentally. Yeah, so if we were to lose both games, PSG will win the title on the head-to-head record against us. If actually, hang on, what is the goal difference like? I'm saying that as if they're still winning on goal difference. Are they still winning on goal difference? Oh, no, they're not. No, okay, then it's over, I think, unless there's a massive swing on goal difference. I completely forgot we were that far ahead on goal difference now. I guess we carried on winning. Like we weren't beating teams 8 and 9, which they got, I think, one of those again this season. But we consistently got like a 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 in like 4 games in a row. And then they've won a couple of games with 1 goal. We just started to slowly overtake them and then go up beyond them for terms of goals scored. Bagchi scores. 1-0 Paris FC. They only 2. Bagchi into Ali. Back into Bagchi. Goes through and he scores. And it's 2-0 Paris FC. Oh, get the champagne out. Love it. Yeah, so the question becomes, who do we sell? A lot of players have got interest in them. Bagchi's got interest. So not Bagchi. Well, Bagchi does actually. But Rikichi I was thinking of has got interest. But he's club homegrown. Novakovic this season is the first year he becomes club homegrown. Not that I'm going to base it on that only. But yeah, there's going to be options. Like, I think that if Alisson is our number 3 winger and Ray's our number 4 winger, I think that helps. I think that's a Champions League winning kind of level team. Yuxa scored a lot of goals, but like I said, I think the aggregate will be better if that was a right-footed player coming in. And Van Basten, I think, is a good enough backup winger. I do. I think he's a good enough backup winger. So I think what it would be is selling Yuxel, signing a starting level winger, then having Alisson, Ray, the other starting level player, and Van Basten. Maybe even one more? Potentially, I don't know. It's very close. But yeah, that's what my thought process right now. Goalkeeper stays the same. Not worried about the goalkeeper. The 2 goalkeepers are still great. Yeah, I think the first thing I want to buy is an actual centre-back that's going to be a starting level player for us. That's the first thing that I think we need. We don't need a left back. We don't need a right back. We don't need a pivot player. And then it comes down to who's going to get sold. And if there's any Moneyball offers that come in, like if I was to get 240 odd million for Fabio Luis, can I turn that down for any player really? In FM, you can replace any player for that amount of money, probably 2 or 3 times over. Especially when you're this far into a save, when you've got new gens that can do the business for you left, right, and centre. Yeah, comprehensive win in the end, lads. But you can see, like, when we've had games like this and the cup final, why I'm so hesitant to change the tactic. Like, we've won so many games off camera there that some of them were quite difficult as well. We've won this game 4-0 away from home. But it's only 70 minutes gone. We win the cup final from being down to 10 men for a large portion of it. It's just those Champions League matches. If I was to change a complete tactic for a Champions League match, the danger could be that you change your tactic too much, you end up getting smashed, and then you're out. It depends if you're playing home or away first, right? The problem we've got is we play teams at home first for some reason all the time. No matter whether we finish in that top 8, it doesn't matter what the seeding is. We play for some reason home first every time, which I hate. So we play at home, we beat them at home, normally by a goal or 2. We go away, and then they are going all out attack. The manager plays his attacking tactic. They go all out to try and get us. They've got the morale's high. They've got the crowd, and then they just batter us. English teams only, that is. So, and the title was lifted, and it's 4-1 win for Paris FC. We're going to lift the trophy in our white kit this time. I don't think we lifted a trophy in this kit before, so there we go. The white kit's going to lift the trophy for us. And Paris FC are the French League champions 2 years in a row. It feels good to say that. I'm still really disappointed about the Champions League, as you can tell. But, yeah, it's a good moment for us. It's French domination, right? The step was always win a trophy, dominate France, and then dominate Europe. So, having won 3 French Cups out of 4, we won the French Community Shield now, and we won the league twice in a row. We are ready. We are the best team in France. PSG can go and do one. We are the best team in France, Paris FC. And it's now a case of trying to transition that now into European success. Yes, this episode's a little unusual in terms of what's actually included in it for the series. Technically, it's a treble. I mean, that's a bit ambitious to call it a treble, but it's a domestic treble. We won the French Community Shield, the French Cup, and the French League. That's the first time we've done that. So that is still something that we've done for the first time. We are still, sometimes we forget that we are still moving as a club. We're not really supposed to be there yet, but, you know, good stuff. Okay, I will see you at the end of season review. I'll play this game off camera. I'm going to play the whole backup team to give them also minutes to end the season. Hopefully none of the first team players get any bad injuries then going into the transfer window. So I'll do all of that. I'll start scouting some of the players that are already on the shortlist, and we'll see what comes up in our Moneyball search for 2032. Okay, the game finished 4-0 to Paris FC. That puts us with 100 goals scored, 17 goals against, 93 points for a 34-game season. That is sensational. 3 draws, 1 defeat. If we hadn't have lost to PSG away, we would have gone 2 full seasons undefeated. That's incredible. So that's something to be proud of from the boys. There's a good chance that Oz here is going to be sold this season, as is probably the 2 lads that are out on loan. Actually, no, sorry, I forgot. I don't know if I mentioned this, actually. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Amit Hadari, who is the Israeli Citroën player, I did sign him for £10 million and loaned him back to Copenhagen. Didn't play him by the looks of it. We didn't have any matches left, so there is that. So he'll be with us next year. I could loan him out yet again because he's going to be a non-EU slot if I keep him. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But as you can see, a lot of players are wanted, including Helgeson. Real Madrid? Oh, I don't know. Rakitic by Napoli as well. It's a tough one. I do feel like we're slightly weak at centre-back. And but it's not the depth. I think that Omar Al-Amrani being our fourth choice centre-back is good. I'm not sure our starters are quite there. Which means somebody has to go. I don't know which one I want to sell, though. I like all of them. Probably Helgeson, because he's not homegrown. I mean, they're part of a team that conceded 17 goals all season. But it's the Champions League, isn't it? I might sell Conti this time round. Who's now German, apparently. Changed nation that he declared for. I might sell him because he's just a depth player. And he probably would get a lot of money from him, I think. Then you've got Dalminio. I'm probably going to sell Dalminio, by the way. That's almost definitely going to happen. Fabio Luis, I don't want to sell, but I could do. It's almost definite. I think one of those two strikers is going to go. So if I sell Bagchi, I could get 150 odd million. Novakovic would get something similar. Yeah, it's going to be hard to not sell one of those two, to be honest, but we'll see. Okay, let's start off with a player attribute reveal. So we're going to go back now, and it's good. Is it Piscicelli's year? It is, isn't it? Oh, here we go. We're going to see Piscicelli, and I've been waiting for this because I've not shown him on camera yet and how he's been doing. Basically, not that great. He's done okay, but not great. So we're going to see Piscicelli's year now. It's going to be this transfer window here, 29-30, but really it's the season before, like we always say. So 29-30, it's going to be this team, really. It's going to be basically the last team that finished with 73 points, didn't do great, and then gradually got there towards the end. So it's going to be a combination of this team here and this team here we're going to see. So it's going to be really interesting to see the players. I'm looking forward to this to get myself out of the way. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. So looking forward to this. Let's see how good Piscicelli was. And, well, this is a big moment in the series to see. It's our first, like, world-class player that we think is world-class to see how good they are. Which means Barbosa will be pretty soon as well. Incredible. Here we go then. It's going to be the attributes reveal for season 2029-2030. And we're going to start off with Julian Funes Mori, who's the winger that we signed, never played, and sold him back to Toluca. Let's see how good he was. And he's okay. He's actually pretty good, isn't he? I'm okay with him as a squad player, not as a starter. So he probably could have done better if he'd have come to us and stayed with us. We bought him for 5.5, loaned him out and sold him for 13.25. That was his total time with us, so never ended up staying, but there you are. I'm going to say Piscicelli till last. Let's go to Mario Aguilar. Aguilar was the centre-back who's with us for quite a few years, and I took the plunge to sell him after I saw that his stats weren't actually that good, considering the fact that I thought he was our best centre-back. Let's see how good he was. Aguilar is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. But the stats weren't there. He wasn't providing the stats for us. He was never getting consistent defensive stats across the board. His average match rate wasn't too bad, to be fair, but everything else wasn't quite there, was it, when we compared to PSG's? And since we sold him, we've done very, very well, which is, yeah, quite surprising, I guess, but there you are. Signed for 6, over 21 million. Good stuff. Dylan Ponte, one of our youngsters. Yeah, pretty average. Not too bad, though. I thought he was actually worse than that, so we signed him for 5.75, sold him for 3.4. He's probably worth more than that, to be fair. He's not that bad. Dylan Chevalier, our youngster, our youth prospect that came through the youth system, who was like rated very highly by the coaches. That's how good he was. Oh, he wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't too bad. He's only 22, to be fair. He's still quite young, playing for Rennes now, one of our rivals in the league title. Obviously, we can't re-sign any. Once we've seen the players' attributes, we can't sign them back. So he'll never be joining us back. This is it. So there you are. I mean, I hope our left backs are slightly better than him now. Like, he's not quite lightning fast. He's not really that good on the ball, is he? So probably a good thing that we moved off him. Miguel Gutierrez, our first choice left back. And yeah, Miguel Gutierrez is a good player. We knew sort of how good he was roughly, didn't we? Most of us that have played it the last couple of years in FM. And 6.75, we bought him for sort of a 16. Good business. Solid. Maximilian Bayer. Now, I don't know what to expect when we look at him. Let's have a look. Okay. He's not as good as I thought he might be. And I'm so pleased that we sold him, even though I could have got a bit more money for him if he'd have taken the offer that was given to him before. So we signed him for 10.5, sold him for 37.5, and they've already sold him back now down to Cole on 15. So we got off him at the right time. But Maximilian Bayer, yeah, it isn't quite as quick. I thought it'd be quicker than that, to be honest. But Karl-Heinz Sickinger, our ball-playing defender that couldn't pass, basically. So let's have a look at him. Sickinger, yeah. Do you know what? The coaches were right. He is a good defender. Not good dribbling, not good passing. Probably not the right centre-back for us to try and win the league, in our league, in a league that we were dominating possession all the time. So signing for 15.5, sold him for 15. Pretty happy with that decision, to be fair. Rainy Breenberg, the left back, and he was quick. He's actually pretty good, Breenberg. We signed him for 14, sold him for 19.5. Basically couldn't defend in the air, could he? Which was his issue. But pretty good player defensively, good positioning, quick. But yeah, just not quite world class, is he? But he's good. And last but not least, here we go. Enzo Pizzicelli, the legend, the player that got us that massive kick to go and take us to that next level and be on the same level as PSG. He really helped us, not only from his performances on the pitch, but the money we got when we sold him. How good is he? Oh, he's good, isn't he? Oh, he's really good. Pizzicelli is really, really good. Oh my Christ. There you are. That's Pizzicelli for you. What a player. I'm just looking at him because he could have become even better. The fact that he's good in the air, and he's quick, and he's agile, and he can finish, and he can dribble. What a player he is. And, I mean, he's played a bit more now for City, but his first year at City, he scored 14 in 22 in all competitions, to be fair. Then the season after, 21 in 32. Not as many league goals, I suppose, as you would expect. And they've not been starting as much this year. Only 24 appearances. Any injuries? Not that many. So, there you go. And that's Pizzicelli. And that is your player attribute reveal for 2029, 2030. What a group of players that was. Okay, in terms of player stats to look at, I mean, I'm not even going to look at PSG's because we're better than by quite a distance, so we're not going to look at that. I think I'm going to do something similar to last year. So I explained this a couple of times, right? But when you look at FM Stag stats here in the skin, these ones here, what people forget is FM Stag stats here, this is taken from the top 5 European leagues. He did a holiday a season. He looked at the top 5 European leagues, and this is what he came out with from his stats. So people are saying, why am I not using the top 5 leagues or other leagues, etc.? This is already here. FM Stag has already done this work. That's the main reason why I've not been doing it, because it's already there. I don't really need to do it. In terms of this season, I mean, the centre-backs are my biggest problem. I just want to see all 4 of them a second and see what we're looking at in terms of stats here. I mean, the thing that scares me again is header-1 ratio. It's so low across them again. Like, it's 60s all the way across the board. Like, what, for example, is United? Let's just take United as an example. Although the thing is, right, they play in a different league, which is one problem. And the other issue is that their league matches are in QME, the quick match engine, so it's not going to line up perfectly anyway. That's another reason why I'm not really looking at some of the other teams as much for baseline stats to compare. But they're similar. It must be something to do with the top sides, right? That's quite similar, to be fair. Tackle-win ratio, yes. I mean, interceptions per 90, where are we looking there? 3 and 3, what have we got? We've got about the same there as well. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I mean, they're marginally better in the air, aren't they? But like 3-4% per player. So it could be something to look for. Rikichi disappoints me. If you're 6'5" and you're not winning those battles, then that's a bit annoying. The only thing about him is he's got homegrown. Like if I was to show you that, Novakovic becomes it this year. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 currently. We don't need 6 anyway, so I could potentially sell somebody here. Zet Emery. I mean, would I sell Zet Emery for 100 million? Yes, I probably would. Although I don't think Seguin's really that level of player. There's going to be probably some turnover here in this summer. Not because I really want it to, but I can't see any other way. Like, for us to replace the players we need to replace, we need more than 26 million. And it's probably going to cost a bit here. Seguin I'd like to sell, to be honest, because he's a backup midfield player worth 100 million. We don't need a player worth that much, so we'll try and sell him as well. But, yeah, I'm going to basically go through, I think, and look for a centre-back that's got the exact same stats that we've got here, but that's better in the air first. That's what I'm going to start off with and see what comes up, basically. Let's go for that now. Let's also have a look at the shortlist, actually. Who's available on this? Who have the scouts come back and said... Oh, nobody. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's let the scout reports come back. See what the scouts say with the players we've already got on our list, because most of these players have been put on the shortlist in the last 2 or 3 years since we've been a title challenging side. So anybody on this list, at least at some point in the last 3 years, got the stats required to improve a position. So let's see what the scouts say first, and let's do the end of season review, and then we'll look at some players. Okay, so social media. We gained 3.2 million social media followers, which is quite interesting. And accept the current vision. Thank you. Team meeting will say we're going to win the league again to them. Yeah, they love that. Good lads. Ooh, latter stage Champions League. Let's go with that. Yeah, they like that as well. Good. Okay, the boys have got balanced head amongst themselves there. Okay, here we go then. The Paris FC end of season review. The treble winning season. Love it. the new arrivals. So they're going to give Yuk sort of B minus, Danny a C minus, Daniel Mina, the goalkeeper, a B. Let me make sure I move myself out the way for this. Ezra Basson got a C minus. That's pretty harsh, I think. Probably the best value for money, one of. Amorani, 7.5 is not bad for a backup player. Darminio, 13. It wasn't that many transfers, was it, last season, to be honest? It's probably going to be similar again, I would say. Maybe one less, maybe like 4 or 5 signings this time. The season results, yeah, look at that. League winners yet again. Champions League was disappointing for us. French Cup winners and French Community Shield winners as well. Moments to remember. 4-0 winning against Rennes apparently was one of them. Finances, everything's going up through the roof, which is nice to see. And I'm surprised, actually, considering we got knocked out so early in the Champions League. But I guess we won a lot of the group stage matches. Not quite sure. And there you are. How we lined up, that was our 4-2-3-1. I mean, Yuxel's annoying me. Like, I've got an offer out on him right now for like 80 million, which gets me the money back that I bought him for. I don't know. I don't know if I can replace him. Basically, the offer that I've got on him is if I can replace him with somebody that I know, or I think I know, is going to be that standard of player, a Barbosa type, right? There we are. Accolades, fans player of the season was Fabio Luis. Young player of the season was Fabio Luis. Don't like it when it does that. Signing of the season was Yuxel, apparently. There we are. Goal of the season was Fabio Luis. Top goal scorer was Novakovic. Got 40 goals this season, did he? Christ. He's one of the players that was sort of unhappy. Well, not unhappy, but is worth quite a lot of money. I did offer him out because him and Bagchi are so similar. Maybe I should just keep them both because it guarantees goals no matter who's playing then. I mean, it wasn't his fault that we lost United away. I think he scored 2 in that Old Trafford match. It wasn't his fault. Like, it was the defence that capitulated. Danny got a lot of assists, playing mostly backup matches, though. Where the backup team played. History in the making. Thank you very much. It was a really good season for us. On the face of it, it was really a great season. Just the Champions League was such a disappointment for us. We won 3 there. Absolutely love it. Record victory. 10-0 was the biggest ever win for the club, by the way. And then, Novakovic got 40 goals a season. Do I just play Novakovic? Like, do I just play him from the start and then sell Bagchi? Moneyball might say so. And they have it. That is the end of season review. Yeah, just that little couple of weeks out there. I was just thinking what I could get for who. I mean, Seguin, if I was to replace Seguin with another pivot player, it's going to cost me about that to replace him. So it's a sideways move. I don't really make any money from this. And at least he's a solid backup CDM. So I don't know if I'm going to sell him or not. I mean, I'd get a lot of the money back that I spent on him. 59 million. We spent 75. It's going to be a bit of a loss. Not sure about that one. Conte's almost definitely going to leave for 39.5 million. He's had a few great years with us. Bought for 8.75. He'll almost definitely leave. And we'll take the money on him. Damini will also leave. So that's going to be guaranteed 50 million there. Yuxel, I don't know. It's only 40 up front. I think he's a really good player. Would he be better as a striker? Maybe as a 10. I don't know. I do think the offer that I got for him wasn't really good enough. I'm probably going to keep him and try and find somebody better. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Okay, so that is going to do it. I can't see a situation where Yux or Bagchi and Novakovic and not one of them actually leaves. I mean, it could be Bagchi. I mean, Yux could play as a 10. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen in the transfer window. I don't know if you'll join me midway through because, yeah, there isn't many real players for us to look at. Let's have a look at the shortlist quickly. So we've been through another week. So I think Kasper Schenk is going to be a really good player to sign as a number 10 or as a pivot player. In fact, he's got really good apparently. Who else wants him? Oh shit, we need to get him early now. He would be a very good pivot player, like a box-to-box kind of one, which would then allow me to use... I mean, basically, it definitely means here that... where's he gone? Daminio's definitely going. He can go out the squad. I've already got rid of the other player. So I could go to a 4-3-3 and play 2 attacking field players next to each other. So we go like an isolated CDM, because then I can play like Danny, Ali, the new player. Van Basten could play left centre mid as well, for example. If I lose Fabio Luis, that could be an option. Is rather than getting another number 10, we go to 4-3-3. Although I don't really want to change the tactic if I can avoid it. And he's like such a good player, Fabio Luis. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I just want to quickly look at these two together. Import view, striker view. Let's have a look. Here we go. What do you reckon then, lads? So, I mean, look at that extra performance. What is that? 61 minutes per goal. What is that? What is that for a stat? It's hard, right? Because Bagchi does score. It's so hard to move off Bagchi because he's world class. But Novakovic, basically, those two are the same player. Novakovic has got better stats because he played against a lot of the backup teams when I rotated the team. So he's had the luxury of that. But he also played a long stretch when Bagchi was up for months. Like, Bagchi was up. Where was he out from? Let's see. Is Bagchi out then? When was he out? Bagchi scored then. That's the first team. Bagchi didn't play. So maybe here onwards, FC Lorient onwards, we had to use Novakovic. And the only real games we lost were PSG away and United away. Everything else was a win, and we comprehensively won. The Stuttgart game I rotated anyway. It's a way to gain 100 million to sell one of them. But the plus side is, if what happens this season happens next season, if Novakovic, if I start using him and he's out for 2 or 3 months, Bagchi comes in, there's no problems at all. It's like, do you have the elite backup or do you reinvest in the squads? If somebody came in with 120 for Bagchi, I might take it, but the difference is right now I'm actively looking to sell, which is probably what I need to avoid doing. Not after a season like that. Yuxel has done really on the left-hand side as well. It's going to be tough. Okay, let's look first at the shortlist, and then we're going to look at the players we've already got, and then we're going to have a look at centre-backs and compare them to our own players and see what we've got there, and then we'll carry on from that point. So I'll see you in a few seconds for that. Okay, so I'm out the way here a little bit more, so you can see most of the names. You only missed the valuation off of the first player, so that's fine. Right, so looking back at forwards, I've just sorted it by position. So Kioke is the player we've been chasing for a couple of years. He is, I mean, I think he's going to be the next big thing at striker, but it doesn't seem like the AI teams believe it. Like, he's not done that well, I guess, Werder Bremen. I don't even play him that often, but I don't know, his stats were so good a couple of years ago, but there you are. Leon's another one. Who actually wants Leon? His valuation's really high because he's an English player playing in England. He did score quite a few goals last year. He would be non-EU for us, though, wouldn't he? Oh, no, he's part of Germany, wouldn't be? Okay. So Leon could be a striker. He's 6'2". Yeah, he could do the business, but he would cost me, it'd be a sideways move, right? If I sold, let's just say I did sell Novakovic, I'm not going to. But if I did, he would cost me the same amount of money to replace him, which isn't really the point, is it? Yeah, I really like Pedro Marcos, but I think he's more of a 10 than an actual winger, but he was really good. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get him, but he's been really good for Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. The only player on the list is the player from Villarreal. Where's he gone? The right back that is obviously not just the right back. Where's he gone? There he is. Where did they play him this year? They played him right back as well. This guy's got to be amazing. Like, I've never seen a right back be worth so much money. They've done a classic Jack Serra's England DNA move here. They've got the optional 3-year extension on his contract. That's a dirty move, Villarreal. I don't condone that at all. I would never do such a thing. Well, actually, no, I could just put Amit Haddari in the squad, couldn't I? If I sold the Brazilian winger and didn't replace him, I wouldn't need that extra non-EU slot, so Amit would go into the squad. And, yeah, so I could sell Seguin. It would mean that we can't get a centre-back, though, right? That's the only problem. I'm going to do it, and I just have a feeling I'm going to do this. So my other option is that Salmani's my backup right-back, and he's just, like, worth 70 million. So do I try and sell him? Because he's worth so much money. So I could get potentially 53 there from Bayern. Let's accept that. Offer him up for 70 and see what we get now. Okay, Bayern's offer is going to be the biggest. I mean, I'm going to let him talk to them, I guess, and then make a decision later. Okay, let's have a look at the actual wingers then. So we've got Van Basten, Alisson, Ray, and then it would be the Spanish player. So if I don't sell Yuxel, if I don't sell him, I have to sell Van Basten. Yeah, I'm not really planning on doing this. I'm just seeing what we can get for players, is what I'm looking at right now. I mean, like, James Albiach, every year, is one of the best attacking players in the world, and he's a right back. So it's an option. It's not the one I'd want to do, really, but it is an option. But let's assume we're not going to sell all those players and do that. We're going to strategically put the squad back together again. In terms of a centre-back, there's no recommended centre-back here at all apart from him. No, that's not. So we need to look for a centre-back definitely here. Okay, there's a player here called Jean-Louis Julien. He plays for Leverkusen, who finished second in the league. Pretty impressive. And, yeah, not too familiar with him. Pretty good in the air. Pretty good stats across the boards. Defensively, looking good. So, going to give him a scout. French, homegrown. Would be interesting. He had a weird sort of history. He was at Saint-Etienne in the French second tier. Bought by United for 3.5 million. Gone to Leverkusen and very, very well. So, we'll track him. Okay, couldn't really find too many centre-backs, to be honest. There were a lot of players that I scouted. I'm going to see what the scouting reports come back like, but there weren't too many, so Yeah, not quite sure what's going to happen there. We'll have to wait and see if any of the scout reports come back with anything decent, but that was slightly concerning. Not going to lie to you. Right, okay. Mina won the most promising player award, apparently. Fabio Luis won his best player. Of course he does. Legends. Team of the season. My manager of the season. Got a vote on it still. I'm going to delay this a couple of times. Yeah, I think next thing to look at is wingers in case we can't get the lad from Villarreal that's obviously very, very good. Allison, Ray, and Yux are the three main wingers. Dribbles per 90 is all in that sort of 2 area. Yux was a lot less dribbles per 90, but then he's got much higher shot on target ratio and conversion ratio because he's not really a wing, he's more a forward, of course, which is interesting. Yeah, so we'll look for a winger that's got dribbles per 90 of at least 2. Open play key passes per 90 of at least 1.75. And a conversion ratio, we'll go 8%, shot on target ratio 35. We'll go for the lowest stat for the shot on target ratio. Now, I'm pretty sure I've looked at this lad before, Cohen de Groot. Now, earlier in the series, I looked at him, and he wouldn't come to us. I'm just looking at him here. So he's got dribbles per 90 of 3, cross completion ratio of 22%, open play key passes per 90 of 1.83, shot on target ratio, conversion ratio. He is very, very good. Who wants him? Liverpool want him. Used to play for Newcastle. I think he could be the one. He played in the Championship over 2 years as well. I'm going to go for him, I think. We're definitely going to scout him at the very, very least, but he looks like a very good player. We've got Rene here as well. 3.34 dribbles per 90, 6 goals, 7 assists so far in his Brazilian league. I've dropped the open play key passes a little bit, which is a little bit lower for him. Shot on target ratio is good, conversion ratio is good, and his header one ratio isn't bad for a winger. Okay, we'll give him a little scout as well. Okay, I think for now, that is all I can do from a scouting perspective because I don't know who we're going to sell and what money we're going to have to spend where. For now, I'm going to leave it there, and you can join me back at some point in the summer. It could be in a few weeks' time if I end up selling quite a few players and we need to go for quite a few players. But if we don't, I might wait to the start of next season. I'm not quite sure. If hardly any business happens, you'll join me at the start of next season. And when I say the start, it probably won't be the community show like it normally is. I'll probably wait till we play PSG or somebody. Because really it's about playing some of the major matches in the league season, the transfers, and then the Champions League, obviously, at that point now as well. I'm not going to go through the scouting position because I don't think we need to at this point. And it's a bit more difficult this time around. So let's see what happens anyway in the transfer market. If I need to search for somebody, you'll come back with me and we'll search it together. But I may not need to. Honestly don't know what I'm going to do here at this point. But I'll see you in a few weeks anyway, and we'll see what happens. Also, right before you went away, we got our money for the end of the season, that kind of stuff. Our bank balance is 100 million. Give us more money to spend, board. What are we doing here? 100 million in the bank balance. Not sold anybody yet. Come on. Okay, welcome back. You join me at the start of the next season. We actually are at the start of the next season. The reason is we play PSG in the French Community Shield. Then we play PSG again, first game of the season. So we can't miss that, can we? We've got to play these 2 games, which then does make it quite easy to have quite a big break then after that, going into probably January or something to that nature, I would have thought. Okay, I've only actually bought 5 players, which is pretty impressive, isn't it? Only signing the 5 players. Been quite a big change, I think, in the squad. So incoming first is Vilmes Kraft. That is the winger we tried to sign ages ago, and we couldn't get him for 75 or 80 million. I think we bid on him from Leverkusen, but we get him for 45 from Bayern after a couple of years. Really good top-level wide player. He's the player that I think we need in the wide area just to give us that bit of strength in depth. Obviously, you can tell with him coming in, somebody probably left, but he was a really good signing, good value for money, and hopefully he comes in and does well. And doesn't cost us a non-EU slot either, which is great. Cohen de Groot managed to come to us as well. Do you know what? It came to the 2 of them. I was like, okay, I don't know which one I actually want to sign. So we ended up going for both. Both of them came in. Cohen de Groot comes in for £59 million. A very interesting career he's had in the save. Like, he went to Newcastle for 4.7 million. Was loaned in the Championship for a couple of years. Was sort of like a backup player, but seems to have had 2 really good seasons. Like, was he always really good, but Newcastle had such a good team that they just didn't need to use him? Maybe that was the case, so I'm hoping is the case. Comes in for £59 million. Jean-Louis Julien comes in, the French centre-back that we spoke about. Again, a bit of an unusual career for him as well. At this point in the second tier of France, then to United, to Leverkusen, and then here we are now. So yeah, looking like he could be a very good centre-back. I was a bit concerned though. I signed him and I thought, it said that he needs to, it did say he needed to work on his strength. And I was like, okay, we've signed him. He's a good potential upgrade. Is he a good starting level player? And then we signed Dennis Zupan. Dennis Zupan, I think, is a really good player. The only downside to him, does not dive into tackles. I don't like this trait on centre-backs, ideally. So we're going to get him to try and remove that and then see how it goes from that point. He's also got brings ball out of defence, which is a good trait. So I think he could be the starting level player. Basically, when I signed Julien, I thought I bought somebody that maybe was as good as Rikichi and the lads. I'm not sure he was really like a standout starter above the rest. And then I decided that Dennis Zupan probably is. So we're going to go with Zupan. We're going to see how he gets on early doors. He'll be the starting centre-back along with one of the others. Probably Babbo, I would have thought. But yeah, good signing. And then lastly, we did sign Rene, the Brazilian winger. To be honest, I didn't need to sign him, but we'd already got so many other wide players in. And I thought, we don't need him, but it's only like, what was it, 13.75 million all up front. It just looked like a really good player to bring in. And I just thought I'd still get him anyway. And the reason is, Ray is no longer a non-EU player. He's been in France so long, he's actually got French nationality now. So I had a space. And I've still got a space right now, but only for a few more months. The last signing was Albano Camargo. I think he's going to be like one of the best centre-backs in the world in the game. He's just going to need time to play. So when he arrives in January, he'll probably play in the French Cup. He'll play in some of the league matches. I'll probably leave him at the Champions League this year and continue to play the other lads. And then next season, he'll just go in as a starter. I think he's the long-term best in the world type centre-back for us. He's just going to take a little while. But he comes in, he'll be 18 years old. He's going to be a non-EU player, but it doesn't matter because Ray's come out. So we're only going to have 4 when he joins. We've only got 3 right now, I think. So that's a really good signing. Now, in terms of players out, Conti was sold for £39.5 million after signing for 8.75, which was good business for us. Yuxel was sold, look at his valuation, 200 million now, it says. Crazy. We sold him for 80 million, bought him for 87, sold him for 80. He had a really good season with us, of course, and did very, very well. But I think that signing the 2 wide players for the same amount of money that we sold him for was really good business for us. So I think it's actually a good positive for us. Like signing Rene and Kraft, although those 2 are closer, it's just a little bit more, isn't it? Those 2 are pretty much the same price as Yuxel, plus a little bit extra we had to spend. But yeah, it's still pretty good business overall. We then sold Omar Al Amrani for 17.5, which I think is the exact amount we bought him for. So it's a neutral transfer there. Darminia was sold for 10 million after being bought for 30.75. A slight loss on him, but that's, yeah. I never thought we were going to get that much from him anyway, so that's fine. Then last but not least, Helgason was bought for 10 million, sold for 30. Brilliant bit of business. He was a very, very good player for us, of course, for quite a few years. I just felt like these other signings, in fact, I wasn't going to sell him until I concluded that I wasn't sure if what's his name? Sorry, I've lost where he is here. Where's he gone there? Yeah, him, Julien. I wasn't sure if Julien was actually going to be the starting level player that we needed. So then I decided that to get Zupan in, I had to sell him. So basically, I've changed over 1 more player than I previously anticipated, but that is all it's at. It's only 1 extra than I was hoping to do. Yeah, so we've currently got 3 non-EU players: Fabio Luis, Alisson, and Rene, with the 4th one coming in January. If Fabio Luis wants to sign a new contract, which I don't think he does still. Oh, okay. He does now. Right, okay, let's not offer him a contract. This could be a big deal. Oh, yes, that's happening. If Fabio Luis signs a new contract, I'm pretty sure he's going to be French soon as well. He's going to be able to get a French citizenship. Okay, so your first team of the season is going to be, we're going to go Mino in goal. I'm going to start Salmani as the starting right back this year because he basically got as many offers as Mikanu did. He's probably better than Mikanu. The reason I've been playing Mikanu is he's with us early. He's club homegrown, but that doesn't really matter from a starting perspective. I still get a lot of game time even as a backup. Going to go Zupan, Babbo, Ventura across the back. Emery and Ali pivots. Fabio Luis is a 10. Kraft on the right, De Groot on the left. The reason for that is it's got this. Cuts inside from right wing. I don't want him on the right if he's going to have that. It's not that that's necessarily going to be a problem on its own as a trait, but every player that's done well on that right-hand side so far hasn't had that trait, so let's just not risk that. One of them's got to be on the left anyway, him or Kraft. We're going to go basically 2 new wide players this season off the bat, and Alisson is out injured anyway, but I think Alisson will be a backup. I'm not too sure on that. All I know is that Ray is the number 4 winger now. So it goes a combination of those 3, Ray's 4, and then our new youngster, Rene. He could also potentially come into the starting team as well. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't know how good he's going to be, really, so we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, he's the spare player of the lot, but we'll see. Let's get to the game and see how we get on against PSG. I mean, really, the second game is the most important one. This first one is, you can lose this and get over it. The second one, if we lose at home in the league, first game of the season, that's pretty bad for us. Assistant manager says, we know how much these games matter against our rivals. That's his message to the boys. Okay, so throw into PSG. They're going to stop for the ball. Musiala go into the box. Musiala gets it back. He's going to go through and shoot, isn't he? That should have been a goal. Okay, highlight for PSG. They stop for the ball. They're going behind to Livio, our player that we nearly had. And they continue on with it. So Kiwi plays it back into him, but Ventura gets to it. Now, De Groot's going to get it, plays it across to William Crafts. Doesn't quite get there, does he? And PSG going to build their attack again. They're going behind. He's through. Livio's through 1v1. Is he going to score? He does. Try to sign him. I tried to sign him. Free kick for Paris FC towards the far post, headed away. And they're going to counter on us with ease. Well, looks of it, this isn't good. They continue on, and Somani wins it. Good lads. Plays it across to Ventura. Into De Groot, into Fabio Luis. Plays it behind the back. Choose onside, I think. Goes through, heads it towards the goalkeeper who saves it. He was offside. Hakimi throws it back into Araujo. And PSG are going to get an attack. Mbappe, they try. Early on, doesn't quite work. We're going to get the ball back here with Mina. He's going to roll it out to Babo. He's got time and space. In here and in here. Yeah, good. Somani has travel with it. Let's go with it. Good. Now get in behind if we can. Kraft, what we doing, son? I know you're new to the team, but come on. Better than that, please. Kraft gets it now. Goes inside with the ball. Plays it across the Ventura. Got 2v1 if you want to use it. He does it. He goes himself. Plays it across. Scott back. She shoots. The keeper saves. Samani throws down the line to Fabio Luis. Back to Samani. Plays it behind to Kraft, who's on side. Keeps it implied. Plays it back to Mustafa Ali. Doesn't quite get there. And the attack's gone. But we're going to win it back, are we? Zupan could have got to that probably. Now Ventura's got to get to it. Good. Zemri gets it down. Babo. Ali. Plays it over to Kraft. On his debut for the club. Takes touches. Plays it back to Ali. Bit of a passive attempt that is. That is some really poor stuff on the right-hand side. Kraft's coming off at halftime. I've decided that already. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to maneuver the team around, though, from that change. Babo into De Groot. De Groot, what a bit of movement that was. Little David Silva sort of type of movement, and that should have been a goal. Instant highlight. Here we go. Fabio Luis over to Salmani. He's got Ray with him if he wants to use him. Fabio Luis back into Salmani. Looks to use Ray, but then goes back to the centre-backs. And he gives it away now. Mbappe runs away. Mbappe's getting older these days. Zupan, that's brilliant defending for Zupan. Ray gives it away, though. And it looks like it could be their attack after all this. They're going to stay on it. It's going to be a highlight, I think. Fabio Luis wins it. Ray doesn't go for it. What is this? Absolute calamity. Left, right, and centre. Zupan. Let's get a bit of control, lads. Bit of Pep Guardiola control here, please. There we go. Ray, Ali, Fabio Luis. Switch it. Oh, I could have switched it. It's gone now. Now you've got time and space here. Got Ray open if you want to use him. There he is. Ray. Fabio Luis wants it. Novakovic goes through. Does he score? He scores. Where Bagchi doesn't. Guess who's the starting striker for this football club? Novakovic. You're amazing. 1-1. I mean, since they've scored, all the highlights have been for us. But before that, it was all the highlights for them. So, and they've just scored an absolute bullshit set piece as well. 2-1. It's a highlight afterwards. Fabio Luis gets it straight off Novakovic. The boys look they're going to spring an attack. Ventura back into Zé Emery. Plays it back to Baba. This is on key highlights, by the way. Just a lot of them. Zupan into Ali. Into Fabio Luis. Great football. Ray goes through. Is he going to score? He's got to score from there. Sure he does. And it's 2-2. Come on. The two subs have worked. Going to take off De Groot and throw on Van Basten on the left-hand side. I do like Van Basten. Like, I would have sold him if I got an offer because I sort of don't need that many wide players and I could have taken the money. But on the flip side to it, I was also slightly pleased when he turned on the club because he's a really effective player, especially on that left-hand side. But penalties, here we go then. So we get on. I've just redone all the takers as well. Obviously, we don't normally do that well against PSG and Pens. Let's see how it goes. I put it on maximum speed. Sorry, it's a bit fast for people watching, but yeah, these take ages to get through. So, I mean, if it was a different competition, I might have like kept it at a slightly slower speed. But it's just the old Community Shield here. Although I don't think we've won this against PSG yet, so this would be a first if we were able to win it. It'd be nice to see us actually win a penalty shootout as well against a good side. Musiala. And he's missed it. He's missed his penalty. Salmani, the starting right back, scores. It's match point. If they miss this, we win. They take a penalty. They score. It's match point. If we score, we win it. Who's going to take it? It's going to be Ventura, the left back. Can he get the winner for Paris FC? Oh, he's missed it. Of course he's missed it. Is that the CDM Rodrigo? Is that Manchester City's Rodrigo? I wonder. New centre-back, Zupan. Penalty scored. Livio, please miss it. Yeah, he's missed it. Yes! To win it, who's going to win it? Come on, Ray. Come on, little Ray. Little half-French Ray. And he scores. And it's 2-2 on the night. But penalties are won by Paris FC. We yet again beat PSG in a Paris derby. We are really a thorn in their side. And one of boys, round of applause from me and everybody watching. We appreciate all your efforts there, lads. That was really, really good to come back in that game and win after an early setback, after they dominated early doors. And then not only that, but as soon as we equalised, the very next thing that happens is a set-piece goal. So the boys came back and won really, really well. And that is going to finish us with another trophy. There it is, French Community Shield in a Paris derby for the first time. And this club continues to go from strength to strength at the moment. Okay, I'll see you in 5 days' time for the Paris derby against PSG in the league. Big game for us. We have to win it because we're the home side. Anything other than a win is a disappointment. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so one change to the team that played in the first game. We're going to play Rene on the right-hand side and so he gets on from the start. It's got to put we're just able to just switch players. Well, actually, on Novakovic, of course, is going to start as well at striker. Those are the two changes that can happen. Apart from that, same team. Let's see how we get on. Assistant manager says, go and do it for the fans. They'll give us a boost. Okay. I'm hoping we play well and we win the game. Because I feel like that once I made those halftime subs, we were the better side against PSG, but we'll see what happens. Oh, hang on. Right, corner's cleared away. Fabulous back into Ali, back into Selmani. Cross it far post. Novakovic goes over to Cruz. Oh, and he scored! And he scored on his first league game for the team. And it's a goal. Novakovic with the with the assist. Sorry, what a start from Paris FC. Novakovic, what a player. 1-0. There he is. Goes towards the far post. Novakovic showing that despite Bagchi being a slightly better player in the air, he can still do his bit if he needs to. A rare sort of knockdown kind of goal. We don't get many of those, and it's 1-0. It's not like for PSG. Livio's basically their next Mbappe, the Brazilian Mbappe. But he's been absolutely shoved off the board. The Groot goes through, plays a great pass into Rene. He's onside. He's got to finish it. Oh, is he offside? It's going to be close. This could be a goal. It's going to be really, really close. Oh, it must have been so close. Okay, PSG start off with the ball, high at the pitch. They play it through to Vidovic. It's cleared away. Ventura's going to keep this in. He's got not many options on the line. So Emery goes and gets it off him. Livio takes it off him. Plays it back round. They're going to build their attack through the centre. Musiala plays through to Vidovic, back into Mbappe. He's through 1v1 almost. That's never a penalty. Get out, referee. Zupan takes it off him like the beast that he is. Fabio-Luis. Maybe he is the player that we needed the whole time. Back into Samania, starting right back for us. Okay, we'll say, don't get complacent. PSG start off with the ball. This attack. They play into their striker. They're going to lose it. Danny's going to take it away for us. Replacing Fabio-Luis. It's a pretty big sub, really, from me. It's only 1-0. And he's our best player by a mile. Far post, Novakovic goes up. Heads it just over the bar. PSG play out from the back. They get it into Thielman, into Vidovic. They're going to lose this, I think. Come on, lads, let's win it off him. Oh, no, Mbappe goes through. Maybe not now. They go through. Vidovic goes through. It's going to be a foul, is it? No, Hakimi carries on. Shoots. Thielman. Oh, my Christ. We've got away with it. Bringing on Bagchi off the bench feels a little bit unfair at this point. They've gone to 3-5-2. They're taking the defeat, are they? And there it is, a big 1-0 win for Paris FC, first game of the season. We start off the season with back-to-back wins in the Paris derby. How good is that? What a turnaround in this save it's been. Unbelievable stuff. What a start to the season. What a way to end today's episode. Yes, that is going to do today's episode. We will come back in January. Let's see if there's anything we need to do. Like, I'm pretty sure if Van Basten doesn't play, for example, this entire period, I might just sell him for 30 million in January because it's just no point in keeping him. He's just gonna go down in value when we don't need to sell him. When we don't need to keep him. We've got so many other players to play in that position. We've also got the centre back coming in as well. That could open up a potential situation for Rikichi or Babbo to leave as he comes in. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see how the season plays out. And yeah, that is going to conclude it. So you'll come back and join me in January for the next episode. We'll go through any transfers that we've only got the 3 games there, actually. We'll go through any transfers we need to do. And then you'll join me for the Champions League knockouts. That's what we'll be here for. The second PSG game isn't until the last game of the season, which is quite funny. So yeah, you'll join me in January. We'll go through some transfers if we have to, if we need to, that is. And then we'll go through, do all the Champions League matches. And hopefully this season we can win the Champions League and be champions of Europe. That's the hope anyway. That's going to do it. Thank you very, very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. I'll see you all, of course, next time.